Picture this. It is 3 in the morning. You are fast asleep having a wonderful dream, when suddenly a 10-pound fur ball launches off your chest, drifts around the bedroom corner, and starts screaming at a blank wall. Or maybe you are just trying to work on your laptop, and your cat insists on sitting directly on your keyboard, staring right into your soul. Does this sound familiar? Do you ever look at your cat and think, are you doing this just to mess with me? Or is your software fundamentally broken? Well, friends and fellow human servants, I am here to tell you that your cat is not broken. They are not plotting your demise. Well, probably not, and they definitely are not doing it just to annoy you. In fact, they are exhibiting perfectly normal feline behaviour. Today, we are going to expose the 5 secret things your cat absolutely loves, but you probably never do for them. I promise you, by the end of this video, you will finally understand the crazy things happening inside that little furry head. Drop a comment right now and tell me the name of your fluffy hooligan, and let's dive into the secret world of cats. Before we reveal these 5 secrets, we need to talk about where our little couch lions actually come from. You see, underneath that soft, squishy belly and those adorable toe beans lies the genetic makeup of a fierce, desert-dwelling apex predator. Cats are naturally solitary hunters. In the wild, they are both the predator and the prey, which means they are hardwired to be constantly alert, highly territorial, and very particular about their environment. Over thousands of years, they decided that hanging out near humans was a pretty good deal because we had mice, and eventually we had central heating and canned tuna. But despite living in our cozy homes, their wild instincts are still completely intact. This creates a hilarious clash of cultures. We expect them to act like little humans in fur coats, but they expect us to understand the complex, subtle language of a wild leopard. When a cat acts weird, it is usually just a wild instinct misfiring in a modern living room. So, let's bridge that gap and look at the things they wish you knew. Thing number 1 is all about communication. Have you ever just been sitting on your couch, minding your own business, when you suddenly feel it? That heavy, piercing gaze, burning a hole right through the side of your head. You slowly turn around, and there is your cat, sitting perfectly still, staring at you like you owe them a large sum of money. Or worse, like they are actively judging your outfit choices. It is a hilarious, but slightly intimidating experience that every cat parent knows all too well. We often joke that our cats are critiquing our life choices or just silently wishing we would get up and open another can of wet food. But this intense staring contest is actually the gateway to the very first thing your cat desperately wants you to participate in. Because we are humans, we usually misinterpret this completely. Instead of doing what the cat wants, we either look away nervously, try to walk over and pet them, which ruins the moment, or we just stare back with wide, unblinking eyes. And let me tell you, staring back with wide eyes is the absolute worst thing you can do. Why is staring back so bad? Because in the animal kingdom, and especially in the feline world, a direct, unblinking stare is a sign of aggression. It is a challenge. When 2 cats are about to get into a massive street fight, what do? They lock eyes, stiffen up, and refuse to look away. So when your cat is looking at you from across the room, and you stare back with your eyes wide open, you are basically saying, "You want a piece of me, buddy." But here is the secret. What your cat is actually waiting for is a slow blink. The slow blink is the ultimate feline expression of trust and affection. Experts and cat behaviourists call it a cat kiss. When a cat looks at you and slowly closes and opens their eyes, they are saying, "I feel safe with you. I trust you enough to close my eyes in your presence, knowing you will not attack me." It is the highest compliment your little predator can give you. They want you to speak their language and return the favour. But how often do we actually do this? Almost never. We are too busy talking to them in high-pitched baby voices, saying things like, "Who is a good little squishy baby?" while completely ignoring their sophisticated visual communication. I have a friend who used to complain that his adopted shelter cat hated him. He said the cat would just sit on the bookshelf and glare at him with pure hatred. I watched them interact, and every time the cat looked at him, my friend would widen his eyes, point a finger and say, "What are you looking at, weirdo?" He was accidentally threatening his own cat every single day. Once I taught him about the slow blink, everything changed. He tried it that very night. He looked at the cat, softened his gaze, and slowly blinked. The cat paused, looked confused for a second, and then slowly blinked back before going to sleep. It was a massive breakthrough. Your cat is constantly throwing these little love signals your way, and you are leaving them on red. So how do you actually execute the perfect slow blink? It is incredibly easy, but it requires a little bit of acting on your part. Next time you catch your cat staring at you from across the room, do not walk toward them and do not make sudden movements. Just relax your face. Drop your shoulders so you do not look tense. Look back at them, but keep your eyes soft, almost like you're incredibly sleepy. Then, deliberately and slowly close your eyelids. Keep them closed for a full 2 seconds. 1, 2. Then, slowly open them back up. Finally, look slightly away to the left or the right. Looking away breaks the tension and shows that you are completely relaxed in their presence. If you do this right, you will often see your cat immediately relax their posture, slow blink right back at you, and maybe even let out a little sleepy sigh. You have just successfully told your cat, "I love you," in their native tongue. Start doing this every day and watch your bond skyrocket. Moving on to secret number 2, let's talk about the mysterious and highly comical phenomenon known as the elevator butt. You know exactly what I am talking about. You walk past your cat, you reach down to give them a nice, gentle stroke down their back, and the moment your hand reaches the base of their tail, boom! Their back legs straighten up, their rear end shoots straight up into the air, and they suddenly look like a very furry, purring stegosaurus. Sometimes they even start doing that funny little march with their front paws, kneading the carpet like they're making an urgent batch of biscuits. It is one of the funniest and most endearing things cats do. But here is the problem. A lot of cat owners completely ignore this clear signal. We give them one quick pet, chuckle at the elevator butt, and then walk away to make a sandwich. Or worse, we move our hands to rub their belly, which is usually a one-way ticket to getting your hand shredded by murder mittens. So, what is the science behind the elevator butt? And why do they love it so much? The base of a cat's tail is a highly sensitive area, loaded with nerve endings. It is a major erogenous zone, but not in a weird way. It is actually connected to how kittens communicate with their mothers. When a mother cat grooms her babies, she pays special attention to this area to help them stay clean and stimulate digestion. So, when your cat lifts their rear end for you, they are essentially reverting back to kittenhood. They are showing you the ultimate level of trust and treating you like their giant hairless mother. Furthermore, cats have a concentration of scent glands right at the base of their tail, known as the supracaudal gland. When you scratch this exact spot, you are helping them release their personal scent, which makes them feel incredibly happy, confident, and secure in their territory. They love it when you focus on this specific spot. But here is the catch, and the reason why this is something you probably do wrong. Because this area is so packed with sensitive nerve endings, it is incredibly easy for a cat to get overstimulated. This leads to what I like to call the petting aggression trap. Have you ever been scratching your cat right there on the back? They are purring louder than a diesel engine. Their butt is in the sky. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, they whip around and bite your hand. You sit there feeling betrayed, thinking, "But you just told me you liked it." It is not a malicious bite. It is a sensory overload. Imagine someone tickling you. At first, it might be funny, but if they do not stop, it quickly becomes uncomfortable and you have to push them away. When you hit the sweet spot at the base of the tail, your cat loves it, but they rely on you to read their body language and know exactly when to stop before their nervous system completely short-circuits. To master the art of the elevator butt scratch, you need to become a feline body language expert. When your cat gives you the elevator butt, Do not just give it a weak little pat. Get in there with your fingernails and give the base of the tail some good, vigorous scratches. They absolutely love that deep pressure, but keep your eyes glued to their tail. The tail is your warning system. As long as the tail is standing straight up or quivering slightly, you are golden. The cat is in heaven. But the second you see the tip of the tail start to twitch aggressively, or the tail starts violently swishing back and forth like a whip, stop immediately. Take your hand away and let them reset. You also need to watch their ears. If the ears flatten back like airplane wings, the sensory overload has been reached. By giving them the deep scratch they crave but respecting their limits and stopping before the bite, you will become their favourite human in the entire world. Let's move on to secret number 3, the vertical world. Have you ever noticed that your cat spends half of their life staring down at you with a look of supreme judgment? You walk into the kitchen, and there they are, perched on top of the refrigerator like a gargoyle, protecting an ancient castle. You go into the bedroom, and they are balanced perfectly on top of the open door. Cats have an absolute obsession with high places. Yet, what do we humans do? We go to the pet store, spend a ridiculous amount of money on a beautiful, plush, memory foam cat bed, and we put it smack down on the floor in the corner of the living room. Then we act shocked and offended when the cat sniffs it once, walks away, and goes back to sleeping in a dusty cardboard box on top of the kitchen cabinets. We try to force our cats to live on the horizontal plane, on the floor, like dogs. But cats are not dogs. They are three-dimensional creatures who desperately need to own the vertical space in your home. To understand this, we have to look back at their wild ancestors again. Small wild cats and big ones like leopards are natural tree dwellers. For a cat, height is life. Being up high serves 2 crucial purposes for their survival. First, it gives them a strategic vantage point to spot prey running on the ground. Second, and more importantly, it keeps them safe from larger predators. When your cat is down on the floor, they feel vulnerable. The floor is where the loud vacuum cleaner lives. The floor is where the dog runs around. The floor is where clumsy humans walk with heavy boots. When a cat climbs up high, their stress levels instantly drop. They can survey their kingdom, keep an eye on all the exits, and sleep deeply, knowing that nothing can sneak up on them. When you fail to provide vertical territory, you are forcing your cat to live in a constant state of low-level anxiety. They love being high up, but we rarely build our homes with that in mind. Let me tell you a classic cat parent story. I once visited a family whose cat was peeing outside the litter box and constantly scratching the furniture. They were at their wits' end. I looked around their beautiful modern minimalist apartment. There was not a single cat tree. The bookshelves were packed tight. The counters were clear. The cat literally had nowhere to go but the floor. There was a dog in the house too. That poor cat was living in a permanent state of floor-level terror. The solution was not medication or punishment. It was vertical space. They bought a tall, sturdy cat tree and placed it near a window. They cleared off one shelf on their bookcase and put a soft blanket on it. Within a week, the behavioural problems vanished completely. The cat finally had a safe highway above the chaos. Your cat needs a way to navigate the room without ever having to touch the floor if they do not want to. It is called catification, and it is essential. So, how can you give your cat the vertical space they crave without ruining your home's aesthetic? You do not have to buy an ugly, carpet-covered monstrosity that ruins your living room decor. There are amazing modern options out there today. You can install beautiful wooden floating shelves on your walls, specifically for the cat to climb. You can buy a tall, sleek scratching post that reaches the ceiling, but honestly, the easiest and cheapest thing you can do right now is just make compromises with the furniture you already have. Clear a space on top of your tallest bookshelf and put a cozy mat there. Throw a folded blanket on top of the refrigerator. Move a sturdy chair next to a high dresser so your senior cat can easily jump up. Give them access to the highest points in your house, and I promise you will see a much more relaxed, confident and happy cat looking down at you. Just accept that they are the king of the castle and you are just the peasant living on the ground. We have reached secret number 4, and this one is going to be a little bit controversial. It is about how we play with our cats. Let's talk about the infamous laser pointer. Oh, the red dot. It is a staple in almost every cat household. You sit lazily on the couch, drinking your coffee, wiggling your wrist slightly, while your cat sprints across the room, doing backflips off the walls, desperately trying to catch the elusive red bug. We laugh, we record it for social media, and we think we are doing a great job exercising our pet. But here is the brutal truth. While your cat's instinct forces them to chase the laser, they actually hate the end result of this game. Using only a laser pointer is one of the most frustrating things you can do to your cat's psychology. You are triggering their intense predatory drive, but you are completely denying them the biological satisfaction of the catch. Imagine if you played a video game where you could never ever win. You would throw the controller at the wall. To understand why the laser pointer is a psychological trap, you have to understand the feline hunting sequence. Every time a cat hunts, they go through a very specific, hardwired sequence: stalk, pounce, catch, kill, eat, and groom. This sequence is deeply embedded in their brain. When they see the red dot, the stalk and pounce instincts are powerfully activated. They burn a ton of physical and mental energy trying to grab it. But when their paws finally slam down on the dot, there is nothing there. There is no tactile feedback. There is no texture of feathers or fur. There is no catch. And there is definitely no kill. This leaves their brain hanging in an unresolved state of high adrenaline and frustration. This unreleased predatory energy does not just disappear, it gets redirected. And do you know where it gets redirected? Straight into your ankles when you walk by, or into completely destroying your toilet paper rolls at 2 in the morning. This unresolved hunting frustration is exactly why the dreaded 3 a.m. zoomies happen. You play with the laser pointer at 9 p.m, thinking you tired them out. The cat pants, lays down, and you think your job is done. But mentally, they are still hunting. They never caught the prey. So, hours later, when the house is quiet, that built-up frustration explodes. They run up and down the hallway, screaming, knocking things over, desperately trying to complete the hunting cycle. I know so many people who get angry at their cats for being hyperactive at night. But it is often the owner's fault for not closing the loop. If your cat is constantly attacking your feet from under the bed or playing aggressively with your hands, it is a huge red flag that they need a tangible victory. They need to sink their teeth and claws into something physical. They love the thrill of the hunt, but what they truly crave, and what we rarely give them, is the satisfaction of the win. So, how do we fix playtime and give our cats what they actually love? You need to become a master of the one toy. Get a high-quality one toy with a feather, or a little furry mouse on the end. When you play, do not just dangle it in their face. Act like the prey. Make the toy hide behind pillows, scurry along the edge of the rug, and occasionally freeze. Make your cat use their brain to stalk it. And here is the most crucial part. Let them catch it. Let them grab the toy, bunny kick it, and bite it. Let them feel victorious. But wait, there is one final step to close the loop perfectly. As soon as the play session is over and they have killed the toy, immediately give them a high-protein treat or a small portion of their wet food. Stalk, pounce, catch, kill, eat. You have just completed their natural biological cycle. After eating, they will naturally groom themselves and go to sleep. Do this before bed, and you will finally sleep peacefully through the night. And finally, we arrive at secret number 5, which deals with the invisible world that your cat lives in. Let's talk about scent. Have you ever noticed how your cat absolutely insists on rubbing their face on everything you own? You bring home a new bag of groceries and they have to rub their cheeks all over it. You sit down with your laptop to do some work and they aggressively headbutt the corner of the screen. Sometimes they even walk up to you and rub their wet little nose and mouth right against your chin. We think it is just a cute way of asking for attention or demanding to be petted. And while it is affectionate, there is a much deeper, hidden agenda going on here. Your cat is actually performing a very important, highly organised chemical ritual. They are claiming you and everything in your house as their personal property. And the secret thing your cat loves, which you constantly ruin, is leaving their carefully placed scents alone. Cats rely heavily on their sense of smell to understand the world. It is far more important to them than their eyesight. They have scent glands located on their cheeks, their chin, the base of their ears, and their paw pads. These glands produce pheromones, which are chemical messages. When a cat rubs their face on the corner of your couch, they are depositing happy markers. They are essentially putting up invisible sticky notes that say, "I have been here, this is my territory, and I feel safe here." When they headbutt you, they are mixing their scent with yours, creating a communal family scent. It is their way of saying, "This human belongs to my tribe." The more a house smells like their own pheromones, the more relaxed and confident the cat feels. It is an invisible blanket of security that covers their entire territory. They spend hours every week meticulously updating and refreshing these scent markers around your home. But what do we humans do? We are obsessed with cleanliness. We buy lemon-scented air fresheners, harsh bleach cleaners, and lavender laundry detergent. Your cat spends 3 weeks perfectly scent marking their favourite fuzzy blanket on the sofa, making it smell exactly like safety and home. And then, what do? You throw it in the washing machine on the heavy-duty cycle with a ton of highly perfumed detergent. When you put the blanket back, it smells like an artificial flower factory. To you, it smells clean. To your cat, it is an absolute tragedy. It is as if someone came into your house while you were at work, painted all your walls neon green, and moved all your furniture around. Their invisible security blanket has been destroyed. This is why cats often act weird, stressed, or even pee outside the litter box after you do a massive deep clean of the house. You have accidentally erased their entire sense of belonging and territory. Now, I am not saying you should live in a dirty, smelly house just to please your cat. Hygiene is important, but you need to find a compromise and respect their invisible world. Here is what your cat wishes you would do. Create scent stations that you rarely wash. If they have a favourite cat bed, do not wash it every single week. When you do wash it, use an unscented, pet-safe detergent. If you are going to deep clean the living room carpets and couches, try not to clean their favourite scratching post on the same day. Leave some anchors of their scent untouched so they do not feel completely evicted. Also, ditch the strong essential oil diffusers and heavily perfumed room sprays. A cat's nose is highly sensitive, and those strong chemical smells give them massive headaches and cover up their own pheromones. Let your house smell a little bit more natural. Allow them to rub their face on your things, and you will have a much more emotionally stable and happy cat. And there you have it, folks. The 5 secret things your cat absolutely loves, but you probably never knew how to do right. From mastering the language of the slow blink and respecting the power of the elevator butt, to providing crucial vertical territory, closing the hunting loop with a wand toy, and honouring their invisible world of scent. Now you know exactly what is going on inside that mysterious, fluffy head of theirs. It turns out our cats are not crazy, broken, or trying to annoy us on purpose. They are just incredibly instinct-driven little panthers, trying to survive and thrive in our confusing human world. Even though they might scream at 3 a.m. or judge us from the top of the fridge, we wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. If you learned something new today and want to become the ultimate cat parent, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more feline secrets, and share this video with anyone who is struggling to understand their cat. Now it is your turn. Which of these 5 things does your cat demand the most? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.